straight for you?
Yeah, straight. It's good.
Okay.
It's good. Matter of fact, let me change my name to actually be something respective.
Yeah, I was wondering, but hey, he the pro at this, you know.
Yeah, I got you, though. Normally, I don't have the names up there because you usually don't. But I'm like, well, this is an interview, so let's make it possible so it can be there.
Fair enough.
Uh, make it a little clean. All right, all right. Let's get this started, bro. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another edition of Where I Come From, MKE, the only podcast that your only requirement is to be from MKE. For those who don't know, that stands for Milwaukee. It is I, Mr. Tone Deaf. I am back in the building. As you can see, I'm virtual. I'm not in the studio today to do this interview, and it's not a bad thing. When you dadding, you got a dad from wherever you dad at, fam. That's just how it rolls. Today, I'm actually joined by a very special guest. He was introduced to me through the visionary of podcasting, my boy Mawan J. I have Devin in the building right now, founder of Share The Vibe LLC, as you can see in the name if you're watching the video. And we're just going to go ahead and we're going to talk about sharing the vibe, man. So tell us a little bit about yourself, man.
Yeah, for sure. So, Devin Jenkins, I do live in Milwaukee. Been living here about 7 years. I might be an anomaly here. I'm actually from Georgia, but I do live
Also,
in
you
Milwaukee.
you came the other way. See, most of us go to Georgia, but you came here. We're gonna talk about that grave mistake later. I'm just kidding.
But yeah, so I'm from Fitzgerald, Georgia. That's a small town about 3 hours south of Atlanta.
Okay.
Went to Miles College in Birmingham, HBCU. Got my
Okay.
degree in management information systems while I was there. I also played staff while I was there. And through a leadership forum with the fraternity, I got an internship with GE Healthcare in Milwaukee in
Okay.
2013. So that was my intro to the city. I got my offer letter. They said you'll be going to Milwaukee, Wisconsin. I say bet. They couldn't check, so I'm there. So I
Hey.
came up, interviewed, did my internship. I did that twice, and then after I graduated in 2015, I moved up here. And started working at GE Healthcare full time,
Okay.
supply chain IT. So I've been in Milwaukee pretty much ever since. I did a 6 month stint in Charlotte. I mean, not Charlotte, in Connecticut.
Okay.
But outside of that, for the last 7 years, I've been here in Milwaukee.
Okay. What was your first impression when you moved up here, bro?
Well, so I came in the summer, so I think my very first day up here ever, I went to the IPIC Theater. Being from
Okay.
Fitzgerald, never knew that was a thing. So I'm in there. They got nice, good, comfortable seats and get nice food and stuff up there. But that was smooth. I ended up going out that night with some guys, and I met a couple of my frat brothers. Shout out to B Rule and Tone, the other Tone. But
Yeah.
shout out to them. Got connected with them. And we've been cool ever since. So that
All right,
kind of kicked
man.
it off. So it was a dope city, man.
That's one of the advantages of being a part of a fraternity or sorority. Like literally, you got family everywhere.
Yeah,
So you're not really alone
right.
anywhere as long as you find where your people are. You're
Yep.
always going to be good. So shout out to that. I have that experience when it comes to the military because I was in the Air Force. And
Okay.
the minute you tell somebody you from the Air Force, it's like, cousin, what's good, bro? Come through. It don't matter what race, creed, or color you are. If you was
Right.
Air Force, we family. And I completely understand that. So share the vibe. First of all, dope ass name. Okay.
Appreciate it.
Won't even lie like that. I'm actually gonna start making that like my phrase when I'm in a but man, just share the vibe, bro. You in a good mood, bro. Share the vibe. You know what I'm saying? So tell us a little bit about like number one, what made you start share the vibe?
Share the vibes, man. So I've always been a music lover. I was in the band growing up. I know my mom, she was a Luther Vandross fan,
Who
and
wasn't? You had to be a
you
Luther
know,
fan, bro.
she had the you remember the Body and Soul CDs?
Oh yeah. My
Used to
mama
have
had
the
those. Funny thing, I was helping my moms clean up when they moved into their current place where they are right now, and I found one of the little CD billfolds, right? When
Mm-hmm.
you I think you have like 18 or 20, and there was like 3 or 4 Body and Soul CDs in there. It was like an Anita Baker, a couple of Body and Soul CDs. It was the Michael Jackson Bad album when it was
Mm-hmm.
just there was no design on the CDs. It was just black writing. That's all it was on that CD, and a couple of other ones. I think one of her old boyfriends made her a CD or something, and
Yeah.
it was on there, and it was like, why do you have this? Do you even have anything that plays this? What are you gonna do with this?
Oh man, but my mama had plenty of Body and Soul CDs. So for context, like I was listening to the rap and R&B, watch BET, but like my mama knew I was just too like I couldn't listen to cussing, so I couldn't get most of the albums that dropped. I had it was on the
Right,
radio and TV, but we had Body and Soul CDs in the car, so I popped those in there. So that's why I learned about the Floaters, and I hear Marvin Gaye, I hear Luther, I hear the Isley Brothers, and whoever else was on those tapes. So I just always love listening to music when we'll be on rides and stuff. Getting into college, getting to the party life and getting around different people and those aspects, HBCU band culture, all of that.
man.
It just kept growing from there. So by the time I got to Milwaukee, that's when I like really started listening to albums for real. And I start having the odds core when I'm out with people and things like that.
Right.
So no, it got to the point where I would hear a song or an album, and I'd be sending out like 20 different text messages, like, "Yo, you heard this? Hey, you need to check this out. Hey, this would be your vibe right here." And it was like after a year of that, I was like, "All right, this is getting tedious, man. There got to be a better way to do this." So, so I made a Facebook group,
Right.
and as I was making it, I said, "Well, I got to call this something. Let's go with Share the Vibes." So, called the group Share the
Actually work.
Vibes, and
Actually
boom.
work. Me and my
So that's how I
friends.
started.
That's crazy because that's kind of like something me and my friends do. We all have very different tastes in music. My
Hmm.
partner in crime, my brother Juan, we do the Deaf Fresh show. Me and Juan are about 10 years apart in age.
Okay.
So by default, our musical tastes are very different.
Right.
So there's often times where there's things that he's playing that I'm into now, and then I'll break out some old joints that he's into because I love a good underground scene. You
Hmm.
know, some of my favorite artists are artists that you'll never hear of. Not because they're not going to be famous, but because they like where they are, because they're making the music because they love to make the music. And
Right.
I'll introduce him to something. Say, hey, check out this JB track I just got right here. It's like, hey, bro, my guy, Tyler just dropped a new album right here, and then Cooley High is over here dropping this new album, whatnot, and just introducing people. So when new music becomes out, I don't be like, "See, told y'all about this." I be like, y'all wasn't there in the beginning. Like y'all like J Cole now, but until y'all can tell me 3 tracks off the warm up, don't talk to me. You know, so definitely shout out to you for making that group. The Milwaukee scene is very, very huge with music. If you haven't already, because I know you recently just
Hmm.
did the bit with Sheed, and shout out to Sheed over there at Loud Radio. He's definitely putting a lot of people on
Yeah.
to local artists here in the city of Milwaukee, Wisconsin as a whole.
Yes.
So with a group like Share Your Vibe, what are some artists that you've heard because of the group?
Oh man, and I probably done forgot more than I remember at this point. I know D'Angelo. Shout out to D'Angelo Cargyle. I know he's a Milwaukee native, but he drops some stuff in there all the time. I think I got put on the Cochise in there recently. That's
Okay.
the artist that comes to mind. Cochise, Cohise. If you haven't heard him, check him out. He's dope. It's like he's half the time I really don't know what he's saying, but it's a vibe though. It's just one of those type of artists. Like I mess with Cochise. Man, who else did I get put on? You know what? Today actually, the newest group member, I think his name is Anthony Buchanan, but he just dropped a song called "Caught Up." I think the music name was Cardiac.
Cardiac the Pulse.
Yeah, Cardiac the Pulse. So
Yep.
I had never heard of it. I just happened to see that we had a new member in the group. So I just went
Right.
to the Facebook page to see what they were talking about. I said, "Oh, they dropped a song. Let me check it out." Man, vibe, man. Like
It
I
is.
played it
It
about
is.
3 times a day.
It is. I've heard it. I heard it previously before. Like I said, ever since I started doing this podcasting, I initially started oh, excuse me. I initially started a show called Sound Dropping,
Okay.
which would probably be like the podcast version of your group, where it didn't matter where you came from. If you had new music and I liked it, it got played.
Hmm.
And a lot of local Milwaukee artists that I didn't even know were artists I got introduced because of that. So I
Yeah.
do try to, shout out and give love to as many artists as possible. There's a lot of music based podcasts in the city of Milwaukee, period. So definitely for any of you guys who's listening to his, make sure you head over to Share the Vibe Facebook group. Just get in there. If anything, promote yourself, but find new people to collab with.
Yep.
You never know. Like the artist that you listen to has a dope vibe or did something with a beat that you want to try something with. You never know. Milwaukee artists honestly have no problem with collabing with each other in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
So definitely look into that. Now, once you create the group, what was the next thing for you? Because I know you can't just have all this dope music hidden behind a group wall, bro. What was your end goal after you got the group and you started realizing that you can make some dope playlists out this music? What was next for you?
Yeah, man. So from the group, think I was in the shower one morning. I was like, man, I feel like I got something here. Like, let's play around with it. So, after I probably kept thinking about a year or so, but eventually I started making a business plan. And I say, I want this to be something where I have a community of music lovers, and it becomes like its own vehicle.
Right.
Maybe that's festival discounts. Maybe we get our own festival going. Maybe, we got parties where instead of you got a DJ that everybody listens to, everybody becomes the DJ. So
Mm,
that's kind of how that was like the first kind of event of it. Middle of the pandemic, I got an LLC that July 2020. And
okay.
the first few events I did were via Zoom. I did some Zoom kickbacks, is what I call them, share the vibe kickbacks.
Okay.
Then came into the Zoom. I had 3 rounds. Each round had a different theme, and everybody went around the room and played a snippet of a song based on that theme. And
Mm,
after the event was over, I made a playlist with all the songs, shared it out with everybody. Super dope. So we'll do that. My guy T Free with Free Spirits Cocktail, shout out to Free. He'll do
okay.
a cocktail demo during the middle of the call. And people introduce themselves before they play their song. That was the rule. You got to introduce yourself because that's how you begin the engagement piece and the community building piece of it. So as you do this, people from different parts of my life starting to recognize each other. So
Right.
that's when I really started realizing Let's Share the Vibes had this community aspect to it. And from there, I kind of got into different services with the business. So now I offer playlist curation as a service.
Okay.
Um, I'm a professional DJ, so holla at me. You need a DJ. I also do music-based events. I like those Zooms. We can do that in person as well. We
Okay.
actually worked with Social X MKE last year and did that type of Zoom event for the like a good number of interns who
Okay.
didn't know each other. But it was like almost like a nice networking event that you just wouldn't think of. Then also have merchandise. Shout out to it's the vibes for me tees right here.
I'm definitely copping one of those, so don't even worry about that. Because anybody who knows me knows 97% of the stuff I wear on air is Milwaukee based. So definitely got to get me the vibe. It's the vibe for me T-shirt because shit, it's the vibe for me. Honestly, let's keep it a buck. Uh, Speaking of that, you know what's funny? Whenever we have a TDR kickback, um, there's a game we usually play. It's called Aux Core Battles, and that's what you
Mm,
remind me of. Where we'll pull up a card. That card has a theme. Two teams got to figure out who has the best song, and
yep.
then the panel of judges tend to choose who's going to be the best one, who got the best choice. Definitely a great icebreaker for a lot of people. You tend to find out how people's musical tastes are,
Hmm.
um, what people musical knowledge is to begin
Yeah.
with. So definitely, if anything, music can definitely bring people together and share the vibe. Sounds like a good way to do that. So you said something a minute ago, and this is probably the main reason why we're here today. Share the Vibe Fest. Tell me about this, bro, because when I first heard it, I was intrigued and I want to be a part of it, but life for this first one. So I'm definitely gonna make sure I'm a part of it for the second one. What's the Share the Vibe Fest?
Yes, sir. So Share the Vibes Fest coming up June 18th here in Milwaukee, Penrod Software. But like I said earlier, Share the Vibes is about connecting people and building community. So the festival is going to be the exemplification of connecting people through music and technology. So we have a day full of Web3 workshops that morning. So you want to learn more about the metaverse, NFTs, and how that
Okay.
relates to the music world.
Okay.
We'll have some facilitators here that morning with Oculus headsets and everything, getting hands on into this new Web3 that we're living in, the new iteration of the internet, if you will.
Right.
So that's going to be the morning. Throughout the afternoon, we'll have musical performances throughout the day. We're going to have a Beyond the Music panel where we have a group of individuals speaking about kind of the intersection of music and technology and how music is more than just purely entertainment. So that'll be middle of the day. We have a live podcast that evening with a few special guests coming in there as well. Hoping we can have Tone in the building for that too.
Man, you know the crazy part is because I of course I had to do my homework on you. I was looking at it. My goal is to make it. That's also one of my work days. So if I can get somebody, you guys will have it literally the exact moment I should be getting off work. So if all goes well, I should be able to pull up for that for you
Yes,
guys.
sir. So we hoping to have Tone in the building. But live podcast. So we got a few different podcasters coming in for that. We'll have our headliner artists. We're gonna actually you just mention Oscore battle. So we're gonna have vibe wars
I
throughout the
see
day.
that.
We got
I
a few
see
few
that.
different rounds planned. And we're gonna have a freestyle cipher in there too. So we're gonna have opportunities for the audience to get engaged in the festival in the true spirit of share the vibe. So it's gonna be dope. Shout out to Social Lex. They're having a Neon Dreams party at the Hyatt that night. That's going to be the official after party for us. So it's going to be dope. We'll have vendors in the house as well. So if you're interested in being a vendor, holler at me, sharethevibesllc.com/STVFest. All the information's out there, and we're going to get to it. But it's going to be a dope event, man. I'm excited for us, the first one. And I can't wait to see what this grows into.
I am definitely gonna pull up for that. I might not make it to panel time, people. And I promise this time I won't talk so much. But I definitely gonna pull up for that there. And I'm definitely gonna make sure next year, not only am I gonna be there, I'm gonna make sure my TDR family will be there to support you in regards to that. So don't want to keep you too much longer. Like I said, we family people here. How can we find you? How can we get a hold of you? How can we get tickets for the event? How can we fuck with you?
Yes, sir. So as far as the festival goes, sharethevibesllc.com/STVFest. The flyers out there, the link to tickets is out there. If you're interested in being a sponsor, a vendor, everything is on the website there. If you want to learn more about Share the Vibes in general, just sharethevibesllc.com. So that's all in one place. Instagram is at Share the Vibes LLC. And if you want to get in that Facebook group, if you search Share the Vibes, you're going to see one that has some musical emojis after it. That's the one. So join that one. And we're in there. It's a good time. Come through, share some songs with us, albums. You got a dope video or interview you saw, drop it in there, comment on stuff. Maybe you just come in and just get music. People do it all, but it's all
That's
about sharing the
exactly
vibe.
what I just joined the group to do. I'm gonna come in here, go ahead and steal me a few songs out of here. Go ahead and have these conversations about these old jams that we keep loving, but we shouldn't love no more. You know, do something here. But I mean, it is dope. I cannot wait until the 18th to be able to do this with you guys. I'm definitely gonna make sure my calendar is clear. Try to make sure I get a lot of TDR people to come through for this as well too. But Dev, keep doing what you're doing, man.
Man, I appreciate it, Tone. Thank you for having
All
me.
right, no problem, man. You enjoy the rest of your day.
All right,
Everybody,
man.
make sure you
Too.
check us out on all streaming platforms. That's Speaker, Spotify, iHeartRadio, wherever else you find your podcast. You can definitely check us out on Facebook. Make sure you catch all the lives as they come through every single day. I mean, there's a new show every time I turn around the corner, whether it's being produced by me or being produced by my boy Tommy. Make sure you go ahead and check out a lot of these Milwaukee artists. Join the group. I'm just saying, like, I just literally walked in here already. It's about 9 songs I'm about to already start putting in rotation already, just because I know the cats who dropped the music. So, with that being said, people, we are out of here. Peace.